Eyup cock. I think this is going to be renamed next season. I'm not going to lie to you. It might have to be just... We're going to skip League 1 out and do League 2 and Championship instead. Because that's where the boys in red are heading. Okay, Championship. There's a lot happened, by the way, so I might have to skim over a couple games so that I'm not sat here for a 2-hour-long video. Norwich and Oxford first on Friday night. I actually thought Oxford did quite well. To be fair, I was like half watching this. I thought they played quite well. Norwich's playoff hopes are like diminishing quite quickly when you look at some other sides that continuously keep winning, like your Coventry's and West Brom's mainly now that sort of pulling away a little bit. Bristol City as well. Can't beat Oxford at home at minute, then you've got no chance, to be honest with you. Borges Hand's missed a sitter late on, which I thought he should have scored. But Oxford, that is a big old point. That there's a lot of twists from this week, and especially down at bottom. But that's a big point, Oxford. They're giving him best possible chance. All right, let's get in there with proper games now. Coventry and Stoke. Let me just show you who scored. So this guy, you know, when we got robbed against Wednesday in playoff final, just a quick Barnsley tangent. When we got robbed against Wednesday in playoff final, we had dibs on this guy if we got promoted. So we'd have had Kitchen, who was here, £5 million. Anderson, who was formerly Premier League defender and now at Luton. And this guy, look at us now. Yeah, very good win again. The form that these are on is ridiculous. The only thing that's making me worried from a little bit, especially from like a playoff perspective, you can't concede this many goals. And they're doing it a lot. They've kept one clean sheet in 6 in it with a QPR. Conceding like away at Wednesday, you've got like a horrendous home form. Preston, you're conceding 2 to Oxford, 2 to Stoke. These aren't good sides, you know what I mean? These are good sides, and it's 2-0 and 4-1. It's making me worry a little bit about them. I'm convinced they'll get in. Do you know what I mean? Well, I knew it for the longest. I said they'd get in months ago. But 46 goals, you know, when you look at everybody else, like, in and around this picture, the other playoff guarantees, could you say, like any of this top 4, they've got so many less conceded goals than Coventry, and it's making me worry a little bit about them. But that's the problem for when you're actually in there. Lampard might change it up, the style, whatever, when they get in there. Stoke, I thought of crap for ages, and like I said, the Swansea win, I'm going to come back to it again, we're papering over craps massively. However, I actually did think they looked quite good here. I thought they were massively unlucky that Bobby Thomas has turned into R9 in the last minute. And I feel like Robbins is slowly doing it, but surely he is getting a grip of these players a little bit. And I feel like that depends what league they're in next season as to what I'm going to say. But I do think they'll be fine and probably like up and around it here if Mark Robbins gets what he wants out of his players. If he can ship off a lot of shit that Stoke have got and bring in his own sort of boys, they'll be all right for future Stoke. But their immediate future is looking in danger when you look at like Derby winning a game now and some of the sides above you. It's some of the more immediate sides above you winning games, getting points constantly. But yeah, Coventry I think are nailed on for top 6, and Stoke, I am worried about them as well. I'm not right still. Watford 1, Millwall 2. I'm going to skim over this quickly just because it's two sides that are just going to finish mid-table doing no. But it's a big old win for Millwall. Big old win. I wish they didn't just take their living piss. Like, they have a spell, don't they, every few months where they'll just lose like 5 games in a row. And that is what's going to do them again from getting into playoffs. You idiots. Watford, and I feel like by the time I've posted this, they could have sacked Cleverly, to be honest with you. They're a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. The higher-ups at Watford are a complete mess. I think the squad that Watford have got, it warrants like a 17th place finish. And I think Cleverly's doing a very good job. Obviously, Watford fans that watch this and watch them every week are going to know a lot more about them than I do. But I think that overachieving, realistically, they have been all year to be up and around that playoffs and sniffing around there all year. We're sad that he's not that good. I think Cleverly's doing a good job. Millwall, if you do another 4 of these in a row, then I might start listening to thee again. Bristol City 1, Hull 1. Another trick missed for the Robins. What this guy's doing and all, I have not got a clue. Nice finish. Like, fantastic little turn on edge at box. Slotted it nicely. 30 seconds later, just 2-foot somebody. I don't know what's gone through his head there. He's lost it completely. But then that gives you, including at a time, you're looking at best part of like 85 minutes that Bristol City are playing against 10 men. And they've only scored a penalty and that's it. You're annoying me. It's all well and good looking like this as well. Like, created some very good chances. Loads of possession. Loads of shots. Just everything. And maybe you can say that Hull have defended quite well, which they have, obviously, and the keeper's had a blinder. When you've got that long against 10 men, come on. And you need to win that. That keeps you on level points with West Brom. Oh, they've done me head in there. They've honestly done me head in. Hull, another one that I said would be fine for a while now when Sellers has come in defensively very solid. They'll be fine. It's your bottom 5 here that I'm worried about more than anything. And Oxford, in fairness, a little bit. They've not won a game in a while. But the point against Norwich has sort of like eased me a little bit, thinking they can do something. Again, I'm not going to be that harsh on Bristol City, just because like you look at last 5, their playoff team. Last 10, they're 7th, bloody hell, where we're going here. Like, you know what I mean? The performances since like Christmas have been much more consistent than you would expect from Bristol City. The next couple of games are massive, and I just hope they don't get too like disheartened by this, that they couldn't beat 10 men like in 85 minutes, whatever it is. But actually, at the same time, just one last thing: Hull away from home, not the worst side you've ever seen. It's just this way that the crap. Burnley 4, Luton 0. Yeah, you know that fight that I was talking about in like last one. Luton, they got a win, didn't they? Or they got a point off somebody. Who were it against? Hold on, I've got to go and look. Oh, the bet Portsmouth 1-0. Portsmouth are a good side, as we're about to see later on when I do a 20-minute segment on them. Really big win that is against Portsmouth. And then that fight is gone. It's gone. Bristol City, take notes. This is how you deal with a very early red card against a poor side. And yeah, I know we're looking at players like Brownhill, Foster, like Anthony, Marcus Edwards with assist, Barnes late on off bench. I know we're looking at like a completely different level of squad to what Bristol City have got, and they've absolutely mauled them start to finish. But that is how it's done. That's how it's done. Luton's form, yeah. I mean, oh God. Ooh. How, my heart, it hurts. Big win, and especially a certain lad in yellow at top dropping points for the last 2 games now. These two, hot on the tails. We could be on for an all-timer finish here. The only thing that like is still giving me the Leeds edge, apart from obviously being best side in the league, I'm not changing my mind on that, is that Sheffield United and Burnley play each other third last game. So it could just come down to that. Luton, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I do think they could come down and maybe like absolutely blitz League One. But it depends if the players can be asked, because I do feel like a few of them have just given up. I don't know. Who they got next week? Cardiff away. Oh, God. Middlesbrough. Oh, Hull. Leeds. Goodbye, my lover. Derby 2, Blackburn 1. Called that one. Not the scoreline, but I said Derby win. This were just absolutely nailed on. Every day at week. John Eustace, 3 games, no goals scored, 3 losses, and then against Blackburn at home. Yeah, that were a Derby win. Looked a bit squeaky, especially at second half, when like Derby were going in 2-1, didn't they? Because they scored late on Blackburn in first half. So they went in 2-1, and it were always going to be a squeaky bottom in second half. But they've done well to see it out. They've done well to see that out of Derby. And Blackburn, after a little bit of consistency, which I mean 2 games in a row, we're now back to just being all over the place. I think, I don't know. I'm not going to speak about Ismail yet, because people saying like, oh, Ismail shit. He's been here 10 seconds. Give the man a chance. Big win for Derby though. And if they've got any remote hope of staying up, they've got to turn Pride Park into a fortress again. That's why they got promoted in first place. It's what's kept them in Championship for a long time anyway. When they've had like poor teams in past that you'd think could be dragged into it, they're always quite good at home. And they started really good at home this year as well, didn't they? But then after that, they've just slid off a cliff. 8 losses, like, Jesus. But yeah, it's literally like best possible weekend that Derby could have had. All 4 sides either side, which are your serious ones about going down, have lost. And Derby, only one that's won. So, a little bit of hope there on the horizon for Derby. Oh, piss off. Plymouth 0, Wendy 3. I said it in the predictions video, like, Plymouth's fight must surely give them something. You know what I mean? They've got something realistic they can play for here, Plymouth, which is survival. Wednesday's season's done, and I think like even the players and everybody must know that, unless you're even more deluded than I am. But it's one thing trying. When you're absolutely dog shit, that means very little. And this speech that Plymouth's manager's done, that's absolutely fantastic. It seriously is. But they're absolutely chalk and cheese away from a Wednesday side that are still disgustingly bad as well. Personnel-wise, that is. Obviously, these have got some at the Plymouth end, which is just Danny Rowe stood in dugout, who's best manager in league. The difference between these two, I feel like everybody on this side of the pitch knows exactly what the role is. They know exactly where they're supposed to be stood. The timings are all perfect. They're very well drilled. You can see that. Wednesday's players just aren't good. If Rowe were at Southampton, for example, next year, they will obliterate this league, because they'll have players that can actually kick a ball 5 yards, and they'll still be doing this sort of thing as well. Whereas Plymouth, again, shite, but these look so all over the place. They look so disjointed. The defensive thing, like against Liverpool, which like, I've banged on about as well, I thought, well, at least they've got that. They've got something to build on front back. Going forwards, not been the biggest problem for Plymouth, really. For majority of this season, they're scoring a lot of goals, but they're conceding shitloads. I thought that would alter a little bit with these defenders coming in, but it just hadn't. 3 there, 2 there, 3 there. I know that's Man City like, but I don't know. Again, I might look at these fixtures and all. There's still a lot to play, and they've all got to play each other at bottom, which is the main thing. But Plymouth away at Portsmouth, I can't see them getting out there. That's huge. Derby. Watford's are bigger than all. But then as it gets further and further on, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Coventry, Preston away, and then Leeds at home. I'll tell you what, you better be after it by the time you've got Sheffield United at home, or you are in trouble, Plymouth. Wednesday, I know I said the season's over, which it is because it's 7 points off. But it's a decent win, that. Ugh. Whatevs. Sheffield United 1, Preston 0. I don't care. I can't look at both of these idiots winning and then look at our result in a bit. I just can't do it. It's another big win for Sheffield United. Preston looked like they came and just set up shop to try and get a draw early doors. They looked like they should have had a penalty, and after I've seen replays of it, I've been given a biased view on it. Let me tell you again, my girlfriend's mum and dad are Sheffield United fans, so I'm being told never a penalty. I've watched that back. That is a penalty. Respectfully. But Sheffield United deserve a win. They were better side, start to finish by it looks. They could have been 3-4-0 up at half time. Preston have obviously come and tried to do a job on him with Eke, but that's the difference between a side that's going from automatic promotion and a mid-table side. It's just the players that you've got, unfortunately, for Preston. Big win though, and it was needed. You know, after seeing the Leeds result on Sunday, and obviously Burnley slapping Luton and all at the same time, needed that to keep in touch and distance with them all. Speaking of, Sunderland 2, Cardiff 1. They've got me this time. You've got me this time, Sunderland, and I'll give you it because I thought Cardiff had nicked some at you. Because Cardiff, I'm telling you, I don't care about these results. Seriously now, I don't care. Villa, what? A European side? Oh, God. Burnley, one at 3 best sides in division. Sunderland, the 4th best side in division. Oh, they've lost 3 games. Who cares? I don't care. They're not losing to Luton, either. Again, I'm going to have a look at form. Like, last 15, Cardiff are a mid-table side. Okay, last 20, we're going a little bit too far. Last 10, mid-table. Yeah. Yeah, Cardiff will be dandy, mate, and Sunderland are just destined for 4th. Speaking of a big win, though, you know, for like Sheffield United keeping in touch and distance, I feel like Sunderland might be kicking themselves for these 2 games. Well, mainly the Hull one, because they look like they took the foot off gas big time against these after the Leeds one, and yet it would probably like still playing on the mind a little bit, like, oh, we've lost, Otto's has gone sort of thing. But if they'd have won that game, I know it'd have still been 5 points, but that's like a lot more doable than 8. We're not doing 8 points, Sunderland, especially against 2 sides that continuously win. Or 3 sides, really, that continuously get points. Sunderland destined for 4th, and Cardiff, I'm going to say it again, I think these will be fine. I genuinely do. I know I said earlier that these are 5, which I do think they are, probably. But Cardiff, I think, will be fine. I really do. Swansea at Middlesbrough 1-0. I knew that'd be a 1-0 and all, either side. I knew it. I said that. I just got it wrong way. I should have chucked coin up in there again. Middlesbrough, they're just so inconsistent, man. It honestly hurts my feelings. Like, playoffs, probably out of picture now. Swansea, I thought they'd been dragged into it good and proper, me. But they've been doing alright recently to get away with it now. Probably just be 2 mid-table sides this by the time it's done. And then the baggage for QPR, last one on Saturday. Been a lot of red cards, haven't there? Armstrong scored his penalty, and then West Brom, at the worst possible time, really got a red card just before half-time. Or is it the best? Would you say that's the best time to get a red card? It probably is. Oh, yeah, you'd rather it be this side than at 47th minute in second half, wouldn't you? At least you can go in, change a load of stuff. And they saw that out quite well, to be honest with you. QPR, yeah, they've had 10 shots and they've had majority of possession, which you'd expect is all coming from second half, yeah. First half were much more even. But they've still not done a great deal here. They've dominated all ball, but had 1 shot on target against 10 men for the entire second half. West Brom have come out and completely just soaked it up and tried playing out counter if they can at all. But they've defended that quite well. And I think to only have 6 shots and force only 1 on target for a full half, that is serious defending that from West Brom. They've seen that out well. DK back off bench and I'll go on, boy. What's happening to QPR these days? Yeah, the form's been all over the place, hasn't it? It's been really poo recently, but I still think they're a really good side. Needed though from West Brom, and quite fortunate that the literal 5 teams below, both Coventry and West Brom, your other playoff chasing sides, all dropped points and these 2 didn't. So they'll be happy as Larry. And then finally, this Sunday game, Portsmouth 1, Leeds 0. Called that one as well. Thank you very much. I actually thought Portsmouth played quite well. I'm not gonna lie. Even in second half. Tell you what as well, the Murphy shot in second half where he clonked that one off post. How did he get that power from that angle? I'm sorry. He's stood inverted. How he got that shot off to that power and accuracy, I have not got a clue. If that had gone in, I'd have lost it. And I'm not going to lie. Obviously, I wanted Portsmouth to win this. But my bum was squeaking. My bum was really squeaking. You know when they're bringing these players off? Ramazani, Rothwell, Matteo Joseph, Brian Nonto off bench. And then Rothwell starts standing over free kicks late on because Portsmouth were being stupid, getting late fouls away just for no reason. And I'm thinking, I've seen this before against Sunderland. He's just whipping him in, back stick, load of headers, corners, shit like that. Because they're a big physical side, Leeds. Or some of them are even. They're quite good in air. Like Rodon, Struik, Firpo, Piru. They've got a couple big lads. Summit saves that Portsmouth keeper was keeping out end, Schmid. Very nice. And like I said, these will be fine. These'll be fine. Pompey. 4 wins out of the last 5. Go on, boys. I think these might cement the place, like, in this category for the next few years. I really do. I know it's, like, probably way too early to look at that. But when you look at Fratton Park yesterday and how loud that place was, it's something that a lot of these sides haven't got. And this is where poor side, effectively, for this league, what Portsmouth have got. I don't think their own form could just carry them through to safety for the next few years. I'm not saying it. I'm just not saying it, because if I do say it, then it'll happen. So I'm just not saying it. Not saying it. Leeds to win it league, 100%. Let's have a look-see at the table. So, Plymouth, Luton, Cardiff and Stoke all lost. Cardiff, I think, will be fine. I've just said it like 8 times, but I do. I think Hull will be fine. Portsmouth will be fine. Oxford, one that could be dragged into it, but I feel like that's a big point away at Norwich start, and they did perform quite well. Plymouth and Luton, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried that these could be down in the next few weeks. Like, how many games is left? Like 8, 9? 8. I'm looking at it. I don't know why I struggle with that. Oh, no, it's 10. Wow, that's embarrassing. 10 games left. I reckon if both of these lose the next 3, the point gap from, like, especially Cardiff's point of view, Cardiff won't be seen in the next, like, few weeks, I'm telling you. Hull will be gone. Stoke are the ones that you can chase realistically. But I feel like that win will get Derby a bit of a boost. I could see Derby pulling away from these two and Luton and Plymouth being down fairly early with, like, a couple of games spare. Mid-tablers couldn't care less. I feel like this could be a top 6 now. Bristol City, I'm not giving up on Bristol City, because I do genuinely think these could sneak in probably last day. But the only position that's up for grabs is this one in 6, because Coventry are just continuously winning. Like I said, the amount of goals that they're conceding is still worrying me a little bit, but that's a worry for when you're actually in there. For now, they're obviously doing fine. They continuously win. Sunderland, big win that, to be fair, against Cardiff, because Cardiff are no mugs. Good win, but it's probably too late now for top 2. Burnley and Sheffield United just keep winning. I do think it'll come down to that third last game when it is at Burnley's place against Sheffield United. I do think that could be the one. And I also think that could be the one that promotes Leeds almost, because, yeah, even if they do drop more points than these two, that game is it's just going to hand Leeds promotion effectively. Unless they're both above Leeds by the time they get there, and then you do a tactical, shady, like, handshake under the table. We'll both draw, lads, and these off. But yeah, I don't see past Leeds winning league still. And Plymouth and Luton going down. That's where I'm currently at. League 1. What a league, baby. Crawley 1, Reading 1. I'll tell you what. Well, firstly, Crawley equalised at 90th. Panchud, very good goal. The form's absolutely horrendous, to be honest with you. And I am worried about Crawley now just not being able to get out. When you see the points tally, when I show you the points tally at the bottom of this league, it's going to be a job for any at bottom 4 to get out, but I don't think Crawley have got a sniff, to be honest. And Reading, they're chipping away quite nicely, you know, unbeaten in a few weeks now. I feel like I've not really given Reading credit they deserve, because the amount of shit that they've got going on behind the scenes, and to still be in, like, an half-assed race for top 6, I do think that will be a top 6 now, to be honest with you. But they've still been chipping away nicely all year. Good on them. Honestly, good on you, lads. But Crawley, yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at the points here. Look at the points. You're looking at 9 points for Crawley to get out now. It's a lot to ask. Stockport 0, Charlton 0. I think they'd both be quite happy with that, because I don't think either of these are very serious about looking at top 2. I feel like both of them would be happy with each other in playoffs. So, little handshake again under the table like Sheffield United and Burnley will be doing. Happy to take a point each. Just make sure you get in there. Barnsley 0, Blackpool 3. I'm not going to sit on this for ages, because, like I said, when we get to this stage of season, mid-table sides mean nothing to me, and these are 2 of them. Blackpool, I actually think, played quite well, to be honest. I feel like they were extremely unlucky to go in half-time at 0-0. In grand scheme of things, this could have been about 6-1 to Blackpool. The squad that we've got is absolutely dog shit, barring like a couple of players, and that's it. The defending is horrendous, to say the least. There's a serious lack of effort, and players just wandering off doing their own thing. And I'll be glad to see it back at least like 8 people on this pitch. Roberts, after game, as most experienced player from Barnsley fan, comes out and says it's not his tactics. It's not the fault of the manager. It's not his tactics. It's not how we set up. We're effectively just shit. Like, a lot of these players aren't good enough, and it's what Clark's been dealt with from people above him. So, if you're captain, effectively, and your most experienced player is coming out and calling for heads of people above your manager, then you know you're in trouble. There's rumours of admin. I just want my points deduction now. Just hurry up. Give it to me. Honestly, give me like 20 and let me go to Bromley away. I've had enough of this league. Blackpool did look quite good, though, I'll say again. They honestly looked half decent. Birmingham are going to win league. I wish they'd just piss off now. You're boring me. Look me in the eyes, you're boring me. Sorry that that's all I've got to say, but you know when you just like... I've said the same thing about Birmingham for the last like 8 weeks. I reckon we're like 3-4 weeks away from being promoted, I think they will win league before they play us and wear the 6th last game. They're on for points record. Get some mates. Bristol Rovers 1, Huddersfield 0. This has sacked Michael Duff, which I think he's been very unlucky with, because I do think he's got his hands tied behind the man's back. I did a TikTok on it, and like, it's one thing looking at top end at pitch. They've come down, they've spent a lot of money, Huddersfield, which they have. If it weren't for like Birmingham spending the amount that they have, I think like Huddersfield would have got a lot more stick for the money that they spent on the strikers, like Dion, Charles and Taylor. Spent 4 million on them combined. But what's finished them off is selling Ellick. They sold Ellick in January to Oxford and brought no centre-backs in. So, yeah, it's easy to say, oh, well, you should be scoring more goals, and I completely agree with that. Let me just put that out there right now. They've scored 47 with that attacking lineup that they've got. They've got less than us, and we ain't had a striker all year. But ball doesn't just magically start from here and teleport up here to your strikers, and then they're just supposed to finish it. It has got to work its way up pitch, and when the best defender that they had, and one of the best defender that leagues had, apart from like Birmingham's lads, goes, they can't build up as well, because Ellick is a good ball-playing defender, to be fair. As much as he's like a unit and a thug, Ellick, he can play ball about quite well. And I feel like that is just what's finished him. They should be scoring more goals, and I feel like the football that they play is quite boring with Duff. And I've also seen a lot of Barnsley fans saying they'd take him back here, which I wouldn't, to be honest with you. I won't be like massively opposed to it, but I don't think he'll do a better job than what Clark's doing. And then again, people are going to say, well, we got to play a final with Duff and the team that we had. We also had a £15 million defence with Duff, and these ones are worth about £7. So you see quickly how good Duff actually is when you give him this set of donkeys that we've got. Yeah, I think Huddersfield have dropped a bollock here, to be fair. I feel like top 6 is going to get away from them quite quickly, because Bolton and Charlton especially are on a ridiculous run of form, and these have lost 4 out of the last 5. This is a side that I thought were like a guaranteed to finish 3rd at least. Shocking, to be honest with you, but it is massive for Bristol Rovers, because like I said, the 9 points in front of Crawley, the 6 in front of Burton, and they've got a game in hand on them. It's looking bleak for that bottom 4, let's put it that way. Burton 1, Bolton 2. These are only ones now that I think have got a chance. Like, I've been a big advocate of the type of manager that you can bring in this league, be it like Shrewsbury bringing Ainsworth in, Cambridge bringing Neil Harris in. But when your players are as crap as they are, it's tough. It's like bordering on being hopeless with how shit they are, some of them players. Burton have actually got like a sniff, I think. They've got a little bit of a chance. Some of their players are really bad, but they've got enough. I think they've got enough. I really do. Like the stats here, obviously this is the only one that matters. End of the day, I've said this many times, stats mean dick if you're losing games. Bolton had more at ball, but Burton have had more shots on target, more big chances, more corners, more shot. You know, they've had more everything. But Bolton had more saves. But only thing that matters is that. And I'm not going to talk about Bolton that much right now. I'm going to talk about Burton mainly. I think these, I know I'm changing my team again, but I think these are the only one now that have got a realistic chance. The point tally is getting too much. Shrewsbury 11 points off, and they've got a game played more. Cambridge 10 off. Do you know what I mean? Crawley just no. Burton at least. I know they've lost the last 2 games, but that's to Wickham and Bolton. You're not going to be playing them sort of sides every week. Before that, they were on good form. I think they've got a little bit of a chance. Bolton, I called this a few weeks ago, and I'm going to say it again now. I want everybody to remember that I'm the first person that said this year. No one said this before me, not even one single person. I think Bolton will get second. And we'll just move on. Exeter 2, Shrewsbury 0. Like, this is what I mean. It's over. It's over for Shrewsbury. This is where a missed penalty as well, and it's still finished 2-0. Better side by an absolute landslide. Shrewsbury have only had 2 shots on target all game. It's not enough. It ain't enough. I feel like they're massively missing John Marquis, aren't they? Because they got that red card against Peterborough, which I think is quite harsh. Just want to put that one out there again, but they're missing him massively. And against an Exeter side that's like shit, realistically, getting battered at their place. It's not good. Oh, is that 5 losses in a row for Leyton Orient? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. They've been done and all. They've been done and all. Just one thing. It's him again. Brother, every game this guy plays, he does something. Every single game. He's a midfielder. Not even like a 10 really. He's like an 8. A goal nearly every 3 games. Would you like to come back to the Reds, my friend? He were a player, him, I miss him. But they've been better side, Northampton. They deserve to win. I feel like Leyton Orient's head have fallen off a little bit. You can like understand the Bolton and Birmingham and Charlton ones. The Charlton one, I think, is actually what's done them in. Because they were winning, weren't they, until like 93rd minute and then ended up losing. The Rotherham one's shocking. Northampton are terrible as well. Don't get me wrong, they've got enough to stay up, Northampton, definitely. But Leyton Orient, what's happened here, lads? What's happened here? There's a lot of no happening now apart from this one. Peterborough 1, Wickham 1. It's him. He's done it again! In his 2 starts since he's been injured, assist at home to Burton and a 93rd minute winner against Peterborough away. I think this is best player in league. You're looking at 17 goals in 32 games. That's absolutely outrageous. The bloke is 21 years old. I'm going to say right now, welcome to Birmingham, young man, next season, because this is best player in league that Birmingham don't have, apart from Davis Keeley Dunn, actually. Good point for Peterborough, mind. Like, I will say that again. Good point for Peterborough, and they've been chipping away very nicely last few weeks. They'll be sound. Wickham are dropping points a little bit too often for my liking. Wrexham obviously won, which we're going to look at in a sec. But these two are both dropping points quite consistently for a top 2 race. There's a certain lad coming over Horizon that ain't dropping them sort of points anymore. I'm telling you. And I called this a few weeks ago. Just want to put that out there again. Stevenage 1-1. I'm sorry. At least Mansfield aren't losing games now. They've drawn 3 in a row, but they've not won since like dawn of time. Upsets the charity case. We've got Mansfield away at weekend and I'm there. So, 4-0 loss. Wigan 1, Cambridge 0. I don't even care about this one, to be honest. Wigan have got enough to stay up, which I thought they'd struggle with since the sack Maloney. But it were a risk that's obviously paid off, probably. Because you could honestly think that they might need, 2 wins now in last 11 games to stay up. They'll be fine. Cambridge, not fine. Goodbye. And then finally to see it out, Wrexham 1, Rotherham 0. And the goal that they scored, it's just prime park, innit? Just horrendous defending from Rotherham and one of the strikers, one of the 8 strikers that are all better than Barnsley, all on about 5-6 grand a week. Has just gone through and tapped it in, so happy days. Respectfully, I don't care about this league anymore. I want to do League 2 content. I want to go to all them shit grounds because I've had enough of this one. Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Crawley. Unfortunately, I think your time is upon us. I think it might be goodbye next few weeks. Burton, you're chipping away for the only survivors now. You are flying flag foot, lads. But they're all picking points up. Like everybody, up to Wigan, every one of these sides has got points. Every one of them. And 8 of them have won. More importantly, I don't even know who it could be. Say if Burton are to get out, who's it going to be? Like, who is it actually going to be out of these sides? It's not going to be Northampton. Northampton upwards, you've got no chance. Bristol Rovers still maybe. It's like they're not scoring loads, are they? Peterborough look alright, and they've always got the goal aspect for them. Exeter's form recently hasn't even been that bad, and again, 7 points is a lot, plus they've got 2 games in hand, it can't be them. I think you are looking at Bristol Rovers if it's going to be one of them 2 that now goes down 4th bottom. Top end, don't care. Honestly, I really don't care. Leyton Orient's chances have gone. We're absolutely dog shit. Blackpool, to be fair, look a decent side, but they're too far off now with points. Reading is chipping away nicely, but they'll not have enough to catch these up, I don't think. Huddersfield, same again, I can't see it. I do think this is your top 6, just in a different order. My order being Birmingham top, Bolton, Wrexham, Wickham, Charlton, Stockport. Thank you very much. But that's that, boys. Absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Love you all. Kiss. I appreciate you all massively. Thank you for making this my job. Goodbye. Kiss, goodbye, goodbye. Kiss, kiss.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.